Hello all. So for today I have a game that I played against DJ Chessdog, and it's an absolutely brilliant game. And we played an Ultra Bullet really, and I feel it kind of showcases the skill with which both of us can play. And I think I'll just get right into it because it's just an absolutely fantastic game. So the first move, I'm white by the way. I'll flip the board so you guys understand. So my first move, I played e6, and basically, I'll get the notation. So my first move, I played e6, and basically the reasoning for this is, of course, you see grandmasters, and they play something like d5. Sorry, no, as white they play like something like d4, e4, and while of course, those are typical classic moves, I don't really feel like they're the best moves if you understand what I'm saying. Something like this is more solid. It, creates advantages on the white squares already. As you can see, you can get the bishop out, you can get the queen out. It's just absolutely fantastic. And I think it's a type of chess that we can all agree is the best. Especially when I'm playing it, I don't, if it's good for me, it should be good for anyone else, I assume. So I start off with e6, and my opponent plays, he plays I, I started off with e3. My bad, of course, I switched the boards. It's understandable mistake, everyone makes them. And he plays d6. So as a response. And frankly, I don't think that's the best response. I personally like e6 as a response to e3, and essentially the reason I would like such a move is because it allows strengths on the black squares as opposed, juxtaposing my strengths on the white squares. That's essentially what I'm going with here. If you understand what I'm saying, it creates counter-attacking chances that, again, the engine might not recognize. I'm not going to use the engine for this analysis, as the engine doesn't seem to understand positional subtleties, which is frankly quite pathetic. And honestly, I feel my expert as someone ECF, 200. I think I'm just a bit better, I think I deserve, some form of respect, and the engine can't recognize that, and that's just a pity. So that's why we're going to do this without that. So he plays d6, and of course, my natural response is to get the bishop out there, developing moves, developing principles. I call this KC's developing principles. So you always want to bring out the bishop first, and so I bring my bishop out to c4. I think that's a logical move. It starts attacking this weakness right here on f7. you know, uh, some people play this. Not a lot of people play this, but some people who understand chess play this basically. If you don't play this, you might as well just pack your bags and stop playing chess because you don't understand the way the game works. And so, in response to this, bishop c4, I get an e5. And I think, wow, well, of course, what it does, basically, the reason for him playing e5 is it frees the king to move forwards. The king now has the e7 square, it has e6 square to move around, and honestly, I think that demonstrates understanding from my opponent. My opponent DJ Chesstalk understands how he wants to play the game. He knows from the start where it's going to go, and it's definitely a respectable thing. Um, some may say it would have been a good move to grab space, but I don't really think space is the matter. Who needs space if you're getting mate? That's basically my rule of thumb here. It's just basic principles. So then I respond to that, Queen h5. I think Queen h5 is a fantastic move. What it does is it exerts pressure here on f7 right here, of course. I may be targeting the f7 pawn, I may not. Some may call this a cheap trick, but I don't think so. I think it's more of a positional chess. You got this beast right here. Why not just let it out? If you know what I'm saying. You just bring it out right away. If you meet someone, you want to intimidate them. You don't just keep the best for last. You just show it off. That works for everyone. And frankly, I think it creates the best attacking chances in positions like these. I'm utilizing the white squares, and just the positional subtleties are insane. And so he goes with this move, knight c6. Again, knight c6 is a good move. It brings the knight towards the center. A grab space is again, it's kind of like, you know, a co-factor to it, really. It's not really the main point, developing a knight, grabbing space. Grabbing space, again, no one really cares about grabbing space, but again, developing the knight. He's looking forward to bringing this bishop out. Soon he's going to be attacking, my squares right here, attacking my d1 square. Queen on d1 is always mate. That's the way the saying goes, at least above ECF 200. If not, if you don't believe so, then it's a you problem, really, not a me problem. And so I play this brilliant move. I see an opening. Not a lot of people would have spotted this. Magnus. People congratulate Magnus for playing. I mean, he's an all right player. I'm not going to say he's a bad player, but I mean, if we're talking about cream of the crop, I wouldn't. You know what? I'm just going to stop there. Last time I did this, I kind of got in trouble. So, and I play this brilliant move, Queen takes f7, and that's, you know, I may not look like it, yeah, but it's actually mate. And the reason it's mate is the king just has nowhere to go. So of course when we talk about his uh his second move, when we talked about e5, as I said before, his goal was to free the king for positions like this. But unfortunately, he didn't give his king enough space. In positions such as this, I would have recommended something along the lines of maybe king d7 here instead of the knight move he played before. I said it was a good move, and it was, but it just wasn't the best move, I feel. You know what I'm, if you understand, because he takes the queen. If his king was right here, his king would be able to escape here, and I think it would have just been, a longer game. Of course, he would have lost anyway. No one expects much from someone who is an ECF 200. Um, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. Well, thank you all for watching.